Meghan Markle has been caught lying again. She claimed they created a special role for her on Suits, but the show's creator says otherwise. And there's this bizarre story claiming Catherine really suffered when Meghan and Harry left. Hello friends, welcome to the King YouTube channel. Normally I wish the best for people. I mean, I don't hate anybody, not even Harry and Meghan. I won't say I hate them. I might call them worthless or say I despise them. But hate is a strong word, one I don't want in my heart. I believe hateful people aren't usually happy, and, well, I want to be happy. But I can't deny I do feel a little uneasy whenever something happens with Meghan and Harry. Well, the latest bit of satisfaction I felt at Harry and Meghan's misfortune comes from the creator of Suits. Remember how Meghan Markle was going around telling everyone she'd be on the new version of Suits? They'd created a role just for her, and she'd also be making her directorial debut. Let's see what the truth is. We're hearing the story thanks to the Mirror. The first sentence is pretty funny. Meghan Markle hasn't been asked back for the upcoming Suits revival. It's confirmed, and their headline is quite amusing too. Meghan Markle is not invited back for Suits reboot. Reveal star and pal of show's creator. Well, of course she hasn't been asked back. Why would she? She was difficult to work with, and she was never the star of that show. Anyway, I don't care what she tries to tell us. Harry and Meghan are masters of spin, rewriting history if you will. It's especially amusing that she's attempting to rewrite history concerning the show Suits, which is still available on Netflix. I mean, it's obvious when you watch the show. Meghan isn't the star nor the most frequently appearing character. I've mentioned it before, but I'll say it again. She only appeared for an average of 1 minute and 37 seconds per episode, which, in my opinion, doesn't make her a star. Aaron Korsh is the creator of the show Suits, and it's true that he's working on a spin-off right now. It's going to be called Suits LA, and it will follow a new cast of characters at a firm on the West Coast. And this news has been known for a while now. So, alright, good for him. Since Suits has been successful on Netflix, I think this is a smart move that people will probably watch. It's funny to me how Meghan truly believes people are watching Suits on Netflix to see her. She's really that delusional. So naturally, Meghan assumed that if they were doing a reboot, they just had to have her. She thought she'd be asked to star in the show, even be a director. Of course, she's the only reason anyone tunes in, or at least that's what she and Harry tell each other. So, I've got to applaud Aaron Korsh for not falling for this nonsense. This is something Harry and Meghan have done so many times, just release some ridiculous news item that's not even true. They're hoping for something that they think will make it happen, but that's not how reality works, and I don't understand why they think it would work out well for them. It never does. According to a report in the Mirror, the Duchess of Sussex is not in the frame at all for any offers at this stage, despite reports suggesting an acting comeback is in the cards. Laugh, I find this amusing. I mean, for any kind of offers, Meghan. So don't expect to come on as a director either. And again, why? Why would anyone want Meghan to direct anything? Meghan isn't a good actress. If she were, I think she'd do a better job of pretending to be a good person. She's not. She's incredibly transparent. Playing Rachel Zane on Suits was by far Meghan's biggest achievement as an actress. Other than that, she mostly played small parts in TV movies. I remember there was one, maybe it was on 90210, where Meghan played. What? The girl who gave someone a blowjob in the car. That's the type of work Meghan is suited for. The kind of work that doesn't really require acting talent, just someone willing to do anything for a quick buck. That's who Meghan Markle is. Apparently, one big reason Aaron Korsh doesn't want to cast Meghan or any of the show's former stars is because he wants the show to succeed on its own, or at least that's what he's saying. Of course, we can't be sure if he really means that or if he just doesn't want Meghan on the show, but whatever. I think the important takeaway here is there's no way Meghan is going to be on this reboot. All this information is coming from a close friend of Aaron Korsh's named Rachel Harris. She spoke with the Mirror and she said, well, the only thing I know for sure is that Aaron Korsh, who created the original Suits, I know personally. And of course, when I heard they were doing a Suits LA, I was like, okay. So when am I working? And he was very clear with me that no one from the previous cast is going to be in Suits Louisiana. So according to Rachel Harris, he also told her that she wouldn't get to be on the show. So it's not just Meghan, okay? But probably Rachel Harris actually has some other job offers coming in, some other opportunities. Unlike, oh, the Duchess of Hypocrisy, poor Meghan Markle, nobody wants to hire her for anything. Why not? She's so amazing. She's so wonderful. Why can't anyone see it? Of course, I'm being facetious here, but see, this is how Meghan Markle thinks. Meghan Markle's level of delusion knows no bounds. According to Rachel Harris, he didn't say that there couldn't be a crossover or a cameo appearance from one of us at some point. But he said this is its own entity, much like all the CSES and all the Bruckheimers, right? Where they have CSI Vegas, CSI Los Angeles, CSI on the moon, everywhere. So I feel confident that they want this to soar on its own without any of the original cast. That doesn't mean we won't pop in. Oh, goody. So what we might get to see Meghan acting again. I don't think anybody needs to see that. Honestly, even if some members of the cast make a cameo appearance, I don't believe they're going to ask Meghan to join. I think the first problem with Meghan would be the amount of money she would demand. See, Meghan has it in her head that now that she's a duchess, she's entitled to make big bucks. I mean, didn't you hear? She married a prince. Sure, that has no bearing whatsoever on her acting ability. But again, this is Meghan Markle we're talking about. Being realistic isn't really her strong suit. So the Mirror asked Rachel Harris if she had heard anything from her friend Aaron Korsh about Meghan appearing on the show. Her answer was this quote, "He has not said anything to me about Meghan popping in." We don't talk about the Duchess. It's rude. She has enough going on, you know what I mean? Let's leave her alone for God's sake, right? This seems to be the attitude most of Meghan's former co-stars have. They don't even want to talk about her. Anytime they're asked about Meghan Markle, they say, we don't have her number, we don't have a relationship with her, and then we have another co-star showing up to talk about the smell at Meghan and Harry's wedding. I've got to talk about that just a little bit. Guys, this story is hilarious. All right, so this is a really funny story that has been making the rounds recently, and it all goes back to this photo that I'm showing you right now. So this guy, his name is Rick Hoffman, and he was a co-star of Meghan's on Suits. He went to Harry and Meghan's wedding back in 2018. Even back then, this photo of him was circulated everywhere online because his face looks hilarious. He looks disgusted, he looks like he doesn't want to be there. And at the time, nobody really knew why. Many people assumed it had something to do with Harry and Meghan's nuptials. Well, he tells us no, that's not what it was. He wasn't disgusted by them. He was disgusted by something very specific. Recently, Rick Hoffman was a guest on the Barstool Sports Chicks in the Office podcast series, and he explained, if you type my name in on Google, you see me making that awful face, so he claimed that he was just trying to stay calm because he was so excited about being at the wedding. But there were cameras everywhere, he said, and then as time went on, I'm starting to smell something really terrible and foul. Apparently, the smell was so bad that he kept having to stick his hands in his face and smell his coconut and vanilla-scented moisturizer just to make himself not want to throw up. He says, I tried to cut it. How can I help getting away from the goofy face? Thank you for letting me go on that little tangent. I just couldn't help myself. It was such a funny story. I mean, what was the foul smell? Well, who knows? But was it a sign of things to come, I'd say. Also remember the fly that landed on Meghan's face. Let's look at that photo right now. I mean, there it is. You can see it clearly. There's a fly on her face, and the weird thing is she didn't even bother swatting it away. I mean, if a fly landed directly on my face like that, you better believe I'd be brushing it away. I couldn't stand that. But I guess I haven't had a bunch of Botox like Meghan has. Maybe the truth is she just couldn't feel her face at all that day, so she had no idea it was there. And then Harry, well, he doesn't seem bothered by it either, which really begs the question, what do these two have going on a daily basis that a fly landing on Meghan Markle's face is not a big deal? Well, like I said, folks, there were many signs that day that maybe this was not a match made in heaven, that maybe there were going to be some problems ahead. And boy, have there ever been. So now at this point, of course, we're all just waiting for the whole thing to end. These days, I've got to admit, my predictions that their marriage was coming to an end soon look like they're not coming true. Maybe I was wrong, maybe I wasn't wrong, actually. Amen. Affirmative. It's not over till the fat lady sings, and even though they appeared at Whistler looking all lovey-dovey, I don't believe it. There are still signs that there is trouble in paradise with those two. Harry coming back to see his father was certainly an attempt to get back in the good graces of the royal family. which could mean that he's in need of a job because, well, things in Hollywood are not working out for either of them. And I don't believe for one second that Meghan is ever going to wish to return to the UK. I don't believe that she could handle the criticism that she would face. She couldn't handle the boos, she couldn't handle the heckling, and she certainly couldn't handle having to curtsy to William and Catherine. So as far as what's going to happen in the next few months, I don't know. Honestly, at this point in time, it's hard to tell what's really happening with them and what's just a bunch of spin and smoke and mirrors. It is indeed quite an interesting ride. It's a bit like a roller coaster. One day they're up, telling us about how they've got all these projects in the works that they can't wait to announce, and the next day they're back down again, basically going for broke. So what's the truth? Somewhere in the middle, I'm sure. But honestly, folks, at this point, I'm just along for the ride. Okay, and next up, guys, there's another ridiculous piece that I have to share with you. Now, this one is coming straight from Meghan Markle herself, straight from the Harl Zone, if you will. We've got the headline in the New York Post: Meghan Markle left Kate Middleton with few people to confide in when she quit the royal family. This is coming from an expert. You can hear the air quotes, I'm sure. Okay, so right off the bat, I see a glaring error in this piece. Quote, the Princess of Wales, 42, had seemingly formed a close bond with the Duchess of Sussex back when she struck up a romance with Prince Harry. What are they talking about? She did not seem to form a close bond at all. Meghan Markle was very inappropriate with Catherine from the very start, showing up barefoot, wearing ripped jeans, going in for a hug, asking her to borrow lip gloss. Catherine understandably has a very close circle of friends. She's not somebody who opens up easily. She has to be that way. She has to be protective of herself and her family. I completely understand that, and I don't fault her for that. That doesn't change the fact, though, she's an incredibly kind and compassionate person, but still, when it comes to really opening up and letting somebody in, she has to be guarded. So no, I don't believe for one second that right off the bat she was all besties with Meghan Markle. According to the royal expert Duncan Lahr Holmes, being in the royal family is a lonely place, and Kate's got very few people now, especially after the Queen's death, who she can go to and confide in. He went on to say that the fact that things didn't work out with Meghan was a real blow because Prince Harry's bride would have been another person stuck in the same situation. Think back to when Diana and Fergie were always giggling and would help each other let off steam. Kate hasn't got that. He said, I'm sure that the two ladies will be in close contact. There's a definite channel of communication between the Queen and the Queen in waiting. Well, sure, Diana and Fergie were able to enjoy a nice relationship and be close because one of them wasn't this raging narcissistic lunatic. Catherine knew from the very beginning what kind of person Meghan was because it's obvious. Again, this goes back to the fact that Meghan is not a very good actress. As much as she tries to play sweet and kind and coy, she doesn't do a very good job of it. I think most people in the royal family, especially the women like Camilla and the late Queen too, and especially Catherine, saw Meghan from the very start for what she is, a gold-digging succubus intent on taking Harry for all he's worth. And I do believe that Catherine still has close friends from when she was growing up. She has friends whom she has known for years, and even though they might not be in her same position, they might not be royal, she can still confide in them. Catherine has shown us beyond a shadow of a doubt that she's incredibly loyal, and usually loyal people attract other loyal people. Jenny Bond is another royal expert, and she has also weighed in on this issue of who Catherine is going to talk to. So she says, one reason Kate has made such a success of her royal role is because she has a strong inner circle, and it extends way beyond her parents and siblings. But sometimes your oldest friends who've been with you through thick and thin are just the ticket. Kate has maintained deep friendships with several of her schoolmates who obviously knew her way before royalty came her way, so they'll know just how to help. I have a very hard time believing anybody who claims that Catherine somehow has suffered because Meghan Markle is not in her life anymore. I think Catherine could not be happier that the two of them moved far, far away. I mean, sure, before Meghan and Harry got together, Catherine did enjoy a very close relationship with Harry, and I know it breaks her heart to see what has happened to him and to no longer be close to him. But Meghan, no, they were never close. Anybody trying to claim they were. It's just, again, revisionist history trying to rewrite the narrative to make Meghan Markle seem like something, and somebody she's not, trying to make her seem palatable, basically. Well, these so-called experts can go ahead and just give it a rest. We're never going to be fooled. All right, my friends, I am happy to say that I did manage to save enough time in this video for some comments. Discussion today, we're going to be talking about the comments that you left in response to the video. What really shocked Harry during Charles's snub meeting revealed it's all narcissistic habits. In this video, we were talking about Harry and Meghan's new website and how it really just shows that they are as narcissistic as they've ever been. And we were also discussing a claim made in the comments section of the Royal Grift channel, stating that the meeting between Harry and Charles was even worse than we originally thought. Security kept Harry for an incredibly long time, and apparently Charles only talked to him for like 6 minutes or something like that. Of course, we don't know exactly what was said, but it wasn't anything Harry was happy about. And reportedly, he was also very upset that he was being treated that way by security. Well, of course, they had to search him incredibly thoroughly because of his history of wearing recording devices and hidden mics and stuff like that. Now, of course, that report is just a rumor. There's no way to confirm it, but I'm inclined to believe it. Now, let's see what you all had to say. Okay, the first comment we have comes from a user called Jean Ledoux. Jean writes he got the award because of his title, not because he did anything spectacular. What about all the soldiers living with PTSD or missing limbs due to war? We all know that Harry was never in real danger being protected by the crown. Meghan was never awarded for her acting career because she did not have a career. Grifters is a perfect. The way to describe them, they deserve each other, Jay. And this comment has some excellent points, so thank you for making them. You're right about Harry's little medals that he's got on his uniform. Those are just medals that his grandmother gave him. They're basically meaningless, they're basically participation trophies. But again, we have noticed that Harry is a really big fan of picking up participation trophies. He doesn't seem to understand yet that it doesn't mean he's a winner anyway. As for Meghan Markle, well, of course she was never going to win any acting award. She's a horrible actress. Even that role she played, Rachel Zane reportedly was kind of written for her. It was because of her husband at the time, Trevor Ingleson. I guess he was close friends with the Suits creator. And so they basically got that job for her, knowing Meghan Markle couldn't really act as anybody except herself. So the character Rachel Zane is incredibly similar to her, or at least who she would like to be. Anyway, as you said, grifters is the best word to describe them. Okay, let's see who the next comment comes from. We've got Sue Clark. Hello, Sue. I always love reading what you have to say. Sue writes, they're two empty vessels drifting and grifting through the sea of life. No direction or moral compass to guide them. Being perpetual victims keeps them from having to grow up and take responsibility. Also true. And that response to TRG from that user is some hot tea. I find it believable and very encouraging if it is. I couldn't agree with you more, Sue. I love this, though. They're two empty vessels drifting and grifting through the sea of life. Did you come up with that by yourself? Because if so, bravo. You should be proud of that one. We've got some replies to why M. Ban says grifters, grifting. It is what they do. Paula's in this comment section too. Hello, Paula. Paula writes, Miss Sue, if the TRG user response is accurate, that would be wonderful. Hopefully all the recording devices were found and removed from Harry. King Charles and the British royal family don't need this nonsense. King Charles just needs to rest, relax, and recover from treatment. Prayers for King Charles, Queen Camilla, Princess of Wales, Catherine, Sarah, and the remaining British royal family. Thank you. I always love your comments, Paula, and I always love you and your comments, but thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for showing that we can still be polite even in today's world. And Sue says, well said. And then Paula, thank you. You have a good week. And then Sue says, you too. I just love seeing these nice little exchanges between you guys. Because sometimes if you look at the comments section on YouTube videos, it's horrible. The way people talk to each other is absolutely disgusting. So I'm really happy that here at least we hold ourselves to a slightly higher standard. All right, my friends, that is about all the time that we have for now. So thank you so much for tuning in. Please let me know, what do you think of the foul smell at Meghan and Harry's wedding? What do you think of that fly on her face? I'm always happy to go down that road again. And what do you think of this whole Suits reboot and the fact that Meghan Markle is not going to be the star? Cannot wait to read your thoughts and opinions in the comments section. As always, don't forget to like and share this video with any of your friends and family who would enjoy it too. And don't forget to click that subscribe button so that you never miss a single update. From the King YouTube channel, thank you so much again for tuning in. You all have a wonderful day, and I'll be back to see you in the next videos.